Welcome to another instalment of Nineworks TV. We're getting towards the end of Monterey Car Week 2022. It has been a crazy week for new Porsche-oriented sports cars. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at 6 of them and let you decide which one's best. I mentioned there's 6 cars in this episode. Only one of them comes from the factory in Zuffenhausen. Another couple of them using Porsche parts, but they are engineered sports cars in their own right. And the others are all high-end, high-quality reimaginings, remasterings or re-engineerings of original Porsche sports cars. It represents all the different factions from this amazing industry, okay? And even better, all these cars hail from all different parts of the planet. We've got some over on the West Coast, we've got one from the UK and then a couple from Germany. And we're going to start in Germany with 2 cars from Ruf Automobile. So this is a company that you of course know. Ruf is a TÜV approved manufacturer of sports cars in its own right, okay? It's really, really important to get that across from the start. They don't remaster Porsche sports cars, they make their own sports cars. Of course though, they are Porsche inspired. They are the gods that gave us the Ruf CTR over 30 years ago. There's been a glittering array of sports cars to hail from Pfaffenhausen since, and 2 of them has been revealed this week. We'll start with the greatest respect, what I think is the warm-up car before the main event. Both are open-topped, okay? The first one is this. It's a one-of-one Ruf Speedster. Now, as you can see, certain elements of this car aesthetically pay a little bit of a nod to the 993 generation of 911, the last air-cooled generation of 911. And what's important here is, of course, for the 993 generation, Porsche itself didn't make a Speedster. It's a 4-litre naturally aspirated flat 6 with dry sump lubrication. It produces 410 horsepower and 415 newton meters of torque, revving up to 8,000 RPM. Attached to that, we've got a Ruf Sports exhaust with long tube headers and a specially developed 6-speed manual transmission. It's rear-wheel drive as well, and the weight is only 1,220 kilos. This is a proper lightweight open-top sports car, featuring 19-inch forged alloy centerlock wheels with carbon ceramic brakes. This really is a cool exercise in the development of modern technology and shoehorning it into something which definitely has a bit of a classic feel about it. It's a paint to sample colour that it's finished in. The interior is absolutely striking, full Alcantara as well. The devastating thing is, it's a one-of-one car. It won't go into mainstream production. It is a bit of a showcasing of what Ruf can do in terms of lightweight, open-top sports cars. However, as I say, I feel like this was the warm-up to what I'm about to show you, which really is a lightweight, open-top, all-out performance sports car from Ruf, and it is the Ruf Bergmeister. Bergmeister means master of the mountain. As you can therefore deduce, this car is made with hill climbing in mind, but it is adept, according to Ruf, at road and track use. And the best bit is, this car was designed by my good mate, Tony Hatter, the legendary designer of the Porsche 993 generation of 911. Mr. Hatter, who of course retired from Porsche a couple of years ago now, but he's not retired his design skills, still working very hard with the guys down the road at Ruf. Mr. Hatter himself told me the customer approached Ruf wanting a 993 Berg Spider. Inspiration for the project was therefore drawn from the Porsche 909 Berg Spider and then the Adamovich Trans Am 911, where they left off the rear bumper. Mr. Hatter said he wanted to show as much of the engine and suspension as possible from this angle. The wheel openings are a take on the 97 GT1 Evo, another car Mr. Hatter penned, cut 20mm higher than a 993 to get the car lower. Tony has also said we had fun with the race car aesthetic in the details and finally just added lightness. The Bergmeister is also showcasing new 993 inspired Ruf lighting systems, both front and rear. Let's dive into the spec of this beauty then, shall we? So, mounted in the rear is a dry sumped, air-cooled and, crucially, Ruf engineered 3.6 litre with a single turbocharger, producing 450 horsepower and just shy of 600 newton meters of torque. That engine is mated to Ruf's specially engineered 6-speed manual transmission. The body itself is all carbon fibre. The Bergmeister again features those trademark 19-inch forged alloy centerlock wheels from Ruf. Within those again are the carbon ceramic brakes, proper stopping power. Inside, as you can see, is an absolute smattering of Alcantara, proper purposeful, proper sports car. Features certain things that we're used to seeing on Roof's cars, their own steering wheel, their specially developed bucket seats as well. This is typically for Roof an all-out sports car. It's designed to be driven and to be driven hard. Let's move on to the third car of the 6 that have been revealed in this mad week of new car releases in the world of Porsche. It hails from Britain. It is a Porsche 911 remastered, re-engineered, call it what you like. It's one of the early models. It comes from Tuthill Porsche and it is the 911K. The idea behind this outrageous project, according to company owner Richard Tuthill, was to build a simple, light car, beautifully presented but with the mechanical capability to take on anything that is currently out there, old or new. Richard himself says this is one for the drivers, and the spec certainly reflects that. It features a 3.1 litre short stroke 4-valve engine with a rev limit of 11,000 RPM. Mated to that engine is a magnesium 6-speed 915K gearbox. Outside of that engine with its ludicrous 11,000 RPM redline is the fact that this car is super lightweight. It has a wet weight of 850 kilos. To achieve this featherlight weight, the car features a full carbon fibre body including the rear bulkhead, a titanium rear roll cage, 15-inch Fuchs style wheels made of carbon fibre, as well as carbon brake discs. This thing really is a masterclass. The 911K will be made in a small series, according to Tuthill, with this first example going to a customer in California. Perhaps the most definitive remastering of the classic 911 concept. We cannot wait to see one of these here in the UK. Let's jump to California and to guntherwerks with Project Tornado. It's very different to guntherwerks' previous projects, and the reason is this car and guntherwerks has adopted turbocharging for the first time. I'm delighted to say that ahead of the reveal of Project Tornado earlier this week, we spoke to the guys from guntherwerks. That's Peter Nahm, CEO and founder, and Amjad Ali, the technical director at guntherwerks. We spoke to them on Nineworks Radio as a podcast exclusive. It's a super in-depth chat. It's more than an hour long and it deep dives into every detail, big and small, on this exceptional remastered sports car. I'm going to pop a link directly below for you to go and have a listen to that at your leisure. We will run through a couple of the details though as a top level here on this video. It starts with the engine because that is the piece de resistance of Project Tornado. Of course it's turbocharged, it's twin turbocharged, it's 4 litre. It features a flat fan. Now we talk in depth on the podcast about why the flat fan was utilised. It's certainly not for looks, although it does look great. There really is a key engineering side to that, extensively developed for Project Tornado. So take a look at the podcast for more info on that. Alongside that racing inspired flat fan, the engine features a liquid charged cooling platform producing 600 horsepower, capable of 700 horsepower. This thing is an absolute weapon. The body, of course, like everything these days, is complete carbon fibre. Body contributes, by the way, to a healthy saving of over 220 kilos from the original car, which is actually a 993 Carrera. So we're looking at about 1150 kilos of Project Tornado. Now, when this car comes into production, customers are going to have a choice between this, the all-out maximum attack version of Project Tornado, or a touring version. The touring version is going to be toned down slightly, and the T-tray wing on the back, as seen here, or T-tray inspired wing on the back, is going to be replaced for a ducktail. Again, it's a very, very radical car. It's absolutely built with performance in mind. I think it's absolutely stunning. It blows my mind that underneath all this somewhere, or certainly to start with, was a humble 993 Carrera. I'm going to finish back in California, but first let's hop back to Germany because, of course, Porsche has been busy as well this week releasing a new car, and it is this beast, the GT3 RS992. There's a wealth of videos already out there on the internet, some even with Andreas Preuninger, the guy that heads up the motorsport division at Porsche and is responsible chiefly for this car. It's worth going to have a watch of those because it's such a brilliant deep dive. I'm not going to add too much more here. What I will say though is, top level, this car really is all about aerodynamics in terms of its leap and evolution from predecessors. We've known for quite some time now that off the back of hybridisation, turbocharging and even electrification of sports cars, the fact that Porsche is still building high revving, emotive, naturally aspirated flat six sports cars is absolutely incredible. And there's only so far that can go. So the big areas you can win in terms of increasing performance is in aerodynamics. And this car really is a quantum leap over not only its predecessor in the 991.2 RS, but also in the current 992 GT3. Active aerodynamics on the RS for the first time, at the front as well as at the back where you've got DRS on a road car, crazy. The suspension too is completely adjustable on the fly from within the cockpit. Absolute ludicrous bit of kit, and I will say as well, it's refreshing to see Porsche put a little bit more daylight between the GT3 and the RS. That's Porsche's offering this week. As I said, for the final car, let's jump back across the pond to the west coast of the United States of America and check in with our friends at Singer Vehicle Design. These guys just knock it out of the park time and time again. The turbo study is inspired by the iconic Porsche 930, the original 911 turbo. And as many Porsche fans will know, the 930 turbo was available as a coupe to begin with, but by the 80s, when it was in 3.3 litre form, the 930 was available as a cabriolet. And again, Singer have acknowledged that with this, the cabriolet version of its turbo study. This is based on the 964 Cabriolet. Now that is super interesting, by the way, because as we know, the 964 market has exploded in recent years. It is all down to the fact that Singer's reimaginings are 964 based. There's absolutely no question of that. Values of 964 coupes have gone through the roof. At times this year in the UK, you can't even find a 964 coupe for sale. You have, though, had plenty of choice when it comes to 964 cabriolets. They're not as steeply priced either. Could that be about to change? Well, who knows? If anything's going to do it, it's going to be this turbo study cabriolet. There's not a great deal of information available on the complexities of that roof system yet. Singer say it is based on the 964 Cabriolet's original roof. Now that was electrically operated. It had to be operated from within inside the car. The car had to be stationary as well. It was a plastic rear screen. By modern standards, that's quite an antiquated, archaic system. I'm sure Singer are going to have developed something for this. What a spokesperson at Singer has told me is the full specification of the cabriolet version of the turbo study will be the same as the coupe that was revealed earlier this year. However, there will be some revisions to the cabriolet body, chiefly around the rear fenders. That is your top level rundown of 6 cars all released in this mad week at the end of August 2022. I'll pop some links in the comments below so you can access further information on all of these cars and have a bit more of a deep dive. As I say though, it's definitely worth checking out the 9works Radio podcast with the guys from guntherwerks that talk in depth for over an hour on that awesome Project Tornado. I think the Project Tornado probably steals the show for me this week, although all of them are absolutely awesome. Again, let us know what your favourite is in the comments below. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to 9works TV. It means when I release a video, you get to see it first. And we'll see you soon.